Drew, she's really active on Facebook, posting all the time, pictures of her husband and kids, how much she loves them, happy Valentine's Day. She was always on there just talking about her family, really seemed engaged.
So she seemed like a happy, stable family system. But Mike, many times there can be addiction flowing underneath, you know, under the surface, and people don't realize it. And then it gets worse and worse and worse, and bad things happen.
Right, and then it blows over all in this horrible incident, and people are going to blame marijuana. It's insanity.
Insanity, everybody. That makes me crazy how screwed up people's ideas are about not just cannabis, but substances generally. The story here is pills. That's the story. I had this fight with Nancy Grace the other day. The story is pills. Empty bottle of hydrocodone. This dude was getting prescription opiates. He stopped them for whatever reason, probably got cut off. This is the horrible thing about what's going on today with opiates. Doctors have finally realized they're creating all these opioid pharmaceutical addicts. Now we've gotten the message. They cut them off. They go, you're a bad patient. You've been manipulating me for opiates. What happens when you cut off an opiate addict?
You turn to heroin.
Turn to heroin.
And the opposite happens. So if you're on something like hydrocodone that tends to sedate you, when you're without it, you go into the withdrawal, which is the opposite physiological effect.
You get agitated. If anything, the cannabis might have helped the withdrawal. If anything, I'm telling you what, Vanessa, you're shaking your head no.
I just can't believe, as a doctor, you are completely disregarding the fact that he's taken a drug, any drug, and I've learned this from you, any drug can change the way you act, can alter your mood, can alter what you do. So I'm not saying, okay, not guilty because you ate some cannabis gummy bears, but you can't discount the fact that he has taken a drug that has altered his system.
There's no doubt that when people take a drug and then do something horrible, they're held accountable in the eyes of the law. But this is something worse. This is something more insidious. He was probably taking medication nearly as prescribed by a doctor. People take massive amounts of opiates these days. He was cut off for whatever reason. Maybe he got agitated, he got angry, they realized they had an opiate addict on their hands. So as opposed to the doctor going, hey man, we did not intend to do this, but it appears we've made you addicted to these pharmaceutical drugs, we got to get you treatment. They cut him off. He gets agitated and irritable and maybe even psychotic in withdrawal. So it is the drugs. Don't get me wrong, it is the drug. It's just not cannabis.